We're talking the Showtime PPC card presented by the main event of Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Mares for the featherweight WBC, and the co-main event of Jermell Charlo taking on Austin Trout. Jermell defending his WBC 154 strap. That's what this post-fight recap is about on the Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. And one fight had the crowd really excited, and one fight had the crowd booing. Jermell Charlo and Austin Trout did not end in a knockout like I thought it would. But what it did do for me was still leave me unimpressed with Jermell Charlo. Can the dude throw hella fine hard punches? Yes, he can. Does the dude fight like he talks? Somewhat. He goes out there to hurt you bad, and that's, you gotta respect that. And at the post-fight interview, while he was getting booed by the LA crowd, you know, he's trying to make it up to the LA crowd. Like, listen to me. You know, he was moving. If Jared Hurd stands in front of me, like, with the way I was punching, see, Austin Trout was moving. I couldn't hit him, but if Jared Hurd stands in front of me, and we just heard that. Where did we hear that from? If you stand in front of me. Oh, yeah. Sean Turner versus Nathan Gorman in the press. If you stand in front of me, we'll see what happens. Nathan Gorman knocked him the fuck out. If Jared Hurd stands in front of Jermell Charlo, I will not be surprised if it looks bad for Jermell Charlo. Now, Jermell Charlo showed a lot of flaws. While he does punches hard, yeah, for you to be in front of him. But when you're not in front of him, his head is overextending, his feet, his punches are spread like Superman wide apart, like he's diving in this, like in the air. He's like a front weight heavy. Like I said, I do believe the dude can hit hard. He wants to knock you the fuck out. But even Derek James was telling him, like, hey, you gotta stop going for these knockouts. Just let your hands go and let it come. You're swinging too hard. And he was swinging hard on Eric. I only gave Austin Trout round 6, you know, and on TV they gave him like rounds 11, 12, 6, maybe some earlier ones. To be honest, around round 9, I just got deflated from the fight. It was a boring ass fight. I was watching it, but I kind of like just looking at the screen watching it. I kind of stopped really scoring it. It was nothing. It was it's what I expected from Charlo, but then even though I expected him to knock him out, like I said, in the post-fight, in the breakdown, I said Charlo hasn't done nothing in the ring to make me think he is the guy who talks. He talks a very good game. In the ring, I haven't seen nothing of caliber to match his mouthpiece. You know, he beat Lubin, he beat Hadley, people he was supposed to look like that against. Yes, Austin Trout is a very tricky, crafty veteran who was really 85% surviving that fight. But Charlo could have finished him. He could have put a better punch selection, better rhythm to his fight to get Trout out of there. You know, he's too aggressive. He missed a lot of shots. He's telegraphical with his shots. He, like Austin Trout was just backing straight up. Instead of following Austin Trout with like triple jabs, what Derek Jenkins was telling him, he would just swing one hard shot. Like I said, it was Austin Trout didn't do nothing. To me, he didn't do really nothing. He landed your typical shots here and there, skated around the ring. He got dropped twice. In the third round, it was more of a, changing of the foot, trying to spin out, got caught a combination, kind of a slippish. And then I think around 9, with a total off balance. You could say it was behind the head, but hey, he got up real fast. Nothing seemed to be bothering him. Very, very mediocre fight. Like I said, I think what is hurting Jermell is he's talking too much. It's good. It gives him, it's building up his who he is for sure now. You know who the Charlo brothers are. But he's not performing like Jermell. Jermell's talking the talk, and he's gone out there hitting people flush, finishing them, hitting them hard when he has to. Well, like I said, Jermell, he did what he had to do against Lubin and Hatley and those guys, but even then, in Hatley, you saw the misses, and in Austin Trout, you saw a lot of misses, a lot of sloppiness. We'll see what happens. If I'm being too overcritical, maybe it's just because he sold me too much with his mouthpiece. I don't want to hear Austin Trout was moving. That sounds the worst thing a boxer could say. He was moving too much. Well, fuck, do a better job of cutting the ring off. Catch him. Now that was, the crowd was into the fight. They were booing the hell out of it. The fight itself was sloppy a little bit at some points. We got one fighter missing a lot, one fighter not trying to do enough. I give that fight like probably a C+, a D-. It was, maybe because Jermell's Lions only aggression hurts what he delivers in the ring. If he just kind of mellows his mouthpiece out and let a lot of his actions do a lot of the talking, instead of his mouthpiece do a lot of the talking, it wouldn't look so bad. But the fact that he gives you such an anticipation for a wonderful show, and when something like that happens, even though I said a lot of it was Austin Trout, he's right. Austin Trout was moving and surviving a lot. But hey, you're a champion. Don't follow him around the ring. Cut him off. Do something. Listen to your corner a little better. Now moving on to the main event, Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Maris. I only gave Abner Maris 2 rounds. I gave him rounds. What rounds did I give him? I gave him rounds 2 and possibly a swing round for me was I think 4. Yeah, I gave him 4 because that's when they were going back and forth. And then round 5 is when Leo's dad told him, "Stop doing this, man. Stop exchanging with him. You're smarter than he is. Just go behind the jab." Round 5 came out. Leo started just pumping the jab out, keeping the distance. And then from there on, round 5 on to the end of the fight, it's completely different fight. Because I said rounds 1 through 4, they're both going back and forth, exchanging. Great shit. The crowd was going crazy. And round 5 was like the first round where a fighter singly dominated, and that was Leo with the jab. And then after that, he just kept the distance. Once in a while, Abner Maris was coaxing him in close, to a nice little exchange, and it looked phenomenal. Crowd would go crazy. But for the most part, after round 5, Leo just kept it with a jab. Kept him out there, kept the distance, hitting him with the right hand, jabbing him. It was an action fight. They were both throwing action, but from round 5 on, Leo kind of more, I would say, decided when there was going to be an exchange. As in the first 4 rounds, they just went for the crazy exchanges. You know, around 7 and 8, Adamars knew he had to really press it, and you know he started coming on, start upping his punch volume, you know, going for the exchanges. But while he was going for exchange, either he'd grab Leo, so Leo couldn't punch back, or after he had hit, he'd back straight up, and Leo would just catch him backing up. He never exited on angles, Abner Mares did. And he was just able to pick him apart. But like I said, it was an action-packed fight. It was action almost every. I don't remember. Maybe round 7 wasn't as much action as the whole fight, but the crowd definitely did not boo one round in this fight, as they booed like 80% of the Charlo and Austin fight. You know, yes, you could say. It was 2 Los Angeles people, so they're definitely behind him. True, but like I said, this fight didn't have a lot of missing punches. Like I said, even though Leo was throwing jabs, he's throwing a lot of them coming forward. He wasn't back foot jabbing; he was coming forward jabbing. So the action was being pressed, like Jermell was trying, but he was missing a lot of shots. Leo was pressing the action forward, but connecting on a lot of jabs, picking Abner Mares off, going into exchanges. And when he was going into exchanges, he was towards the second half of the fight, he started blocking a lot of changes and then landed his own punches. So while Jermell was trying to do exchanges and missing a lot of shots, these 2 fighters were doing exchanges and connecting. Then the crowd favorite Leo start winning the exchanges by countering during in them. And what Leo was doing to Abner Mares was he was punching with him and during his punches, while Austin Trout never really tried to punch within Jermell Charlo's punches. You know, that's what Paul was trying to say. Like, Jermell's missing so many shots, but nothing's coming back at him. You know, Austin needs to at least pop, little pitch shots just to punch in between, because he's missing so much. Make him like calm down on his punch volume. And when Leo was able to do that, pop shot in between Abner Mares' combinations, it made Abner really think about his exchanges. Then he couldn't really just go crazy on him. Couldn't come in as fast because he's getting popped off with the jab. Like I said, Leo, it was just like Leo versus Frampton 1, Leo versus Abner. It's the action back and forth. If you haven't seen Leo fight, then you're missing a great guy who's gonna give you your money's worth in a fight. You know, he boxes well. When he listens to his dad, the dude's pretty damn good at boxing. He was covering up tight in the defense. He wasn't getting hit too hard. I believe he got cut by a headbutt on his eye, on the corner of his right eye or something, but it was a headbutt. But it was actually ruled I think by a punch. So that was he's like, oh, if this fight gets stopped, Abner Mares wins. But overall, the crowd was into that fight, cheering their asses off. The action was packed. Both fighters were showing the going forward attitude. Leo, when he wasn't going forward, he was moving around the ring successfully with a jab, still displaying action, unlike Austin Trout, who moved a lot and survived with a blend-in survival. Like, I'm doing nothing, but he doing something, but he was surviving from very early on in that fight. So the crowd was into it, cheering on the action. Both fighters throwing punches. Both fighters trying to win the fight. I give that fight probably like, there was no knockdowns in it, but the action put forth there. You could say that fight was an A. You can say that fight was A, but if you want to be, it's no less than a B plus. So, because there was no knockdowns, but those fighters were throwing with intentions to knock each other out. You know, the intention was there. The could have been some more body work in there. Abdamara started to work the body. Then Leo started to work the body. Yeah, I give that fight an A-, because, like I said, they both brung it, and you saw an adaptation by Leo, but just listening to his dad, just keeping it boxing. So you got a D-, C+ fight. You got a B+, A- fight. So I guess that takes it to a C card, you know. And then you have a post-fight interview between Mikey and Robert Easter. So they're fighting July 28th. That is good to know. You know, they're sitting right there talking to each other. Not talking to each other, talking about the fight. You know, Mikey's saying, you know, I went up to 140 just for a career legacy type thing. It is an opportunity to become a 4-division champion. But I always said I wanted to unify 135, so I came back down. The only champion was Robert Easter. He's the only one available, so I took the fight. You know, and then they asked Robert Easter, hey, this guy's already talking about fighting Lomachenko. Do you think he's overlooking you? Do you find that disrespectful? Robert's like, no, you know, I was calling out every champion, you know. No, I don't find it. It is what it is. You know, but that should be a good fight. But overall, the card was good. You know, even though Jermell and Austin's fight was a little kind of a stinker, it bored me, but it showed you a lot about those two fighters. It showed you a lot. Austin Trout is basically a resume name fighter now. Jermell, not quite good as his mouthpiece is. Leo Santa Cruz, Abdamaris, you're going to get an action fight between, at least with Leo. Abdamaris, questionable, you know. He comes forward, he gets picked off a lot. You know, when he's doing his exchanges, he gets picked off a lot. Leo was able to just offensively counter him a lot in the second half of the fight. This is Double RT Boxing Show saying I enjoyed the Showtime card. It taught me a lot about the fighters. Thank you for your time and support. Hope you subscribe. See you on the next one.